Having fun, TechDweeb?
Yeah, I'm having lots of fun, Pockets Mini. I love playing retro games on you. This is great.
Good. I want you to be happy. So if there's anything I can do for you, let me know.
All right, I will. Thanks.
Anything at all, just ask.
Yep.
Anything, TechDweeb. Anything.
Oh, that's good to know, but I'm good for now.
Okay, just checking. I will hurt those who hurt you, TechDweeb. Just say the word.
What?
What?
Ayaneo has been on a mini kick lately. First, they give us the Ayaneo Pocket Air Mini, which is a mini version of the Pocket Air, and actually, that's it. They did that one thing. But now there's another one, so I guess that counts as a kick. This is the Ayaneo Pockets Mini.
It's pronounced Pocket S Mini.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't.
Well, agree to disagree.
I don't agree to.
This adorable little guy is the mini version of one of Ayaneo's flagship devices. Ayaneo has lots of flagships. They pretty much make only flagships, but I think of the Pockets line as like the purest of their flagships. It's the device that is this. A medium-sized horizontal handheld, not too big, not too small, with tons of power, great high-resolution screen, and a sort of simple form factor, nothing too weird, just a really solid top-end Ayaneo handheld. And now this is like the shrunk-down version, the Pockets Mini. All the lovely things that made the Pockets a lovely doodad, now in a cute little pocket-friendly form factor, and with all the same power under the hood.
Look at my power.
What are you doing?
I'm flexing my power. See?
Wow, that's impressive.
Power.
When Ayaneo recently minified the Pocket Air with the Pocket Air Mini, it was awesome because it was cheap, under $100. For Ayaneo, that's basically unheard of, but it also wasn't very powerful. The Pockets Mini is very powerful. It's rocking the Snapdragon G3X Gen 2, which is an absolute monster, so it can handle basically everything. GameCube, PS2, Switch, even PC stuff. The catch is that it's not cheap. This starts at over $300. Still, a small pocket-friendly handheld that is actually high-end is weirdly rare, and Ayaneo is one of the only companies making these tiny but mighty premium doodads. So did they nail it with the Pockets Mini, or is it too expensive, too late, and too not good enough for buying? Let's find out. The specs of the Pockets Mini are just a little bit more toned down from the big boy version. The processor is the same. It's a Snapdragon G3X Gen 2 chip. There's a few different configurations you can pick from. You'll get 8GB up to 16GB of RAM and 128 up to 512GB of storage. The screen is 4.2 inches, LCD, 1280 by 960 resolution, and a 60Hz refresh rate. We also get Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.3, a 4200 mAh battery, and it's running Android 13. Now, when Ayaneo announced this, they made a bit of a dum-dum. They said the battery was 6,000 mAh, but it turned out to be only 4,200 mAh. However, when they corrected this, they said that as an apology, they are giving away a free Ayaneo Pocket Air Mini if you order this. I don't know how long this will last, but that's kind of a crazy good deal. The price of the Pockets Mini will depend on which version you get. It'll be anywhere from $319 up to $479. So definitely not cheap, but it is quite a bit cheaper than the Pockets non-mini. I'll talk about what I think of the price and the value at the end of the video.
Okay, I get it. Building up suspense, huh?
No, I haven't thought about what I'm gonna say yet, to be honest. I want to get the easy part done with first.
Okay, I get it. Lazy, huh?
Yeah. On the front, we have a D-pad in the upper position and a left stick in the lower position. Start and select, screen in the middle. Over here are some face buttons and a right stick and an Ayaneo quick settings button and an Android home button. Up top, we have some bumpers and a couple of triggers, 2 rebindable top function buttons, some air vent holes, volume up and down, and a power button. On the left, we have another function buttons out the wazoo over here. On the right is an SD card hole. Underneath, we have downward firing speakers. And a USB-C hole. No headphone hole on this doodad. That sucks. Around back, we have some more air vent holes and a smooth plastic booty. The retro vibes of the Pockets Mini are off the frickin' charts. I have the
Retro Power
color wave, and I probably wouldn't like it as much if I had the black one or the white one. But I am in love with the way this guy looks. I love everything that every company makes in this retro tech-inspired color scheme, but Ayaneo does it particularly well. I have quite a few of their handhelds that look like this.
You got problems, TechDweeb.
Yeah, I know. This thing looks like an old 80s console that's been marinating in a living room window for 30 years. The bumpers and triggers have a worn out, smoky greenish gray look to them. The red buttons are doing the NES and Game Boy nostalgia thing, and Ayaneo's slightly see-through button plastic actually is super nice. Same thing with the D-pad. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi, which is French for something. I don't know what. We have an all-glass front, of course, but many doodads have that these days, so it may be a little bit less special here than it was on the original Pockets when that came out. The metal frame is a little bit too rose gold for my liking, and the screen leaving empty space below it is a little bit odd for proportions, but my complaints are tiny. Overall, I do love the way it looks. It's thicker than the original Pockets, and that's actually a win. It feels a little bit more substantial, and even with no grip humps, it's weirdly comfy. The size is a great middle ground. As you can see, it's pretty small too, which means it should do pretty good in the pocket, I think. Let's check in with my temporary pocket test guy. You got it, TechDweeb. In we go, and oh yeah, this is great. The sticks are sticking out a little bit, and the flared triggers stick out a little bit, but for a powerful device, this is a lot more pocket-friendly than we usually get. This is definitely pocketable. I'll give this an 8 out of 10 for pocketability. Alright, nice. Thanks, temporary pocket test guy. And okay, I have something for you. You're a temp, and this was supposed to be your last day on the job, and you've been asking for a full-time position, and well, I talked to the board of directors, and we have a little surprise for you. Really? Yeah, go on. Open it. Oh, this is so exciting. It's a Tim Hortons gift card. Yeah, $10 at Tim Hortons to thank you for your good work. You can get like 6 coffees with that. I don't drink coffee. Well, they have like donuts and stuff too. Right. I guess I should go home now. Yeah, probably. We're done with you, so, you know. Okay, thanks, TechDweeb. Thanks for everything. All right, see ya. Did he seem ungrateful to you? I kinda got an ungrateful vibe just there. The controls are basically perfect, 0 complaints from me. Great buttons that feel nice. The D-pad is lovely. It looks awesome, it feels awesome, the perfect mix of squishy and firm, amazing input quality, no false diagonals at all, but it's easy to hit the diagonals when I want to. Amazing for fighting games. I never miss moves on this D-pad. They fire off perfectly every time. Hall sticks and triggers with perfect input quality. These doodads usually have pretty loud bumpers, but these ones are super stealthy. All the controls are quiet actually. Bumpers and D-pad and buttons. This would be a great device to play during a funeral and not draw attention to yourself with clicky buttons. I guess some people might find the sticks a little bit on the small side, but honestly, the stuff you'll be playing on here, GameCube and PS2 kind of stuff, you'll be fine with these sticks. And these stick caps are the usual kind of the standard stick post connection, whatever you call this. So you can put bigger sticks on here if you want to. Ayaneo even sells them.
Well, you know what they say. It's not the size of your stick, it's how you use it.
Well, yeah, that's why I said that part about swapping the stick. So when you use it.
That was a joke, TechDweeb.
Oh, right, a joke. The stick is small, like my wiener. That's funny.
Well, don't make it weird.
You made it weird. The screen is a little bit of a letdown, to be honest. It's the one part of this device that didn't wow me. Don't get me wrong, it is a fine screen, but I kinda want more than fine on a device that costs what this costs. It's not OLED, it's LCD, which isn't ideal, but I can live with that. 4.2 inches, which is a good middle ground size of a screen for middle-sized handhelds. The resolution is crispy, 1280 by 960. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same screen that's in the Ayaneo Pocket Mini, and it's fine there, but that's a cheaper device. And here it feels a little underwhelming. It's only 60 Hz, so you don't get that silky smooth menu movement or black frame insertion or high refresh rate PC games or streaming. And the response time isn't great either. It's got a little bit of ghosting to it. Like, it's fine. It just doesn't wow me in any way, really. And considering how good everything else is on this doodad, I kind of want more than just fine. The sound is good though. Even though the speakers are downward firing, they sound good. Nice and clear, loud enough, bassy enough lows, and crisp enough highs. Plenty good enough for retro games. It's a bummer that there's no headphone jack for those who want that, but honestly, ever since I got low latency earbuds, I haven't touched wired headphones once. The earbuds that I use, I've had these for like 2 years now. These are the Redmi Buds 4 Active. These are the best low latency earbuds that I could find that were cheap enough for my cheapskateness. I'll toss a link to these in the thingy below if you're interested in some affordable low latency earbuds. The system is pretty standard Ayaneo stuff. You get the Ayaneo launcher by default, or you can switch it to the quick step launcher or install your own. Ayaneo has this quick settings panel that you can bring up at any time using this button here. And in here you can get performance mode stuff like power profiles and fan settings, controller options, a few shortcuts to system things, and there's more options here under the hood in the device settings. I like how in here you have fine control over the CPU and the GPU and stuff. My favorite thing in here is the resolution options for the video out. I often like to connect my doodads to my TV, which is 16:9, or my 4:3 monitor, or even my Commodore 1702 CRT monitor. And each of those has different resolution requirements. Ayaneo gives you a ton of options in here. They do this part right.
Put me on the big screen, TechDweeb. I want to be famous.
Oh, okay. Hang on. There you go. How does that feel?
So famous.
Performance-wise, there will be very few surprises here. This is a Snapdragon G3X Gen 2 chip. That's the same chip that's in all the top Ayaneo doodads, like the Ayaneo DMG and the Ace and the original Pockets and the Pocket DS and the Pocket Evo. Ayaneo must have bought a warehouse full of these things. That's not a bad thing at all though. I freaking love this chip. It's powerful, more powerful than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which means you'll get a bit more of the top end stuff like Switch and PC games. We get amazing compatibility, so we can use the stock drivers or download custom Snapdragon turnip drivers for a big boost in compatibility and performance. It's also super efficient. We get amazing top end performance, but at low wattages, it barely touches the battery. All my doodads with this chip last forever if you're sticking to the older stuff. And the older stuff is really what you should be here for with this doodad. It's a 4:3 screen, so you shouldn't get this if you want to play a ton of PSP and Switch and PC games. You can play all that, and they are still playable. It's not the end of the world to play 16:9 stuff on a 4:3 display. It's just not ideal, and frankly, I'd rather play that stuff on different devices. The older stuff, though, is 100% good to go here. This panel is 1280 by 960, which is a great resolution for pixel scaling. Tons of systems scale perfectly on here, and even for those that don't, we have so much pixel density that it's not really a problem. It's such a luxurious device for retro stuff. And for the higher end stuff, you'll be good to go with all the 4:3 systems, PS1, N64, Dreamcast, Saturn, even GameCube and PS2, and the vast majority of PS2 and GameCube will run fine even on the balanced power profile, so you'll get way better battery life. There is a small handful of GameCube and PS2 games that you'll need to bump down the resolution or tweak a setting or two, but those games are few and far between. Most stuff will just work. Beyond that, you can play a ton of Switch and PC games, but keep in mind the two caveats. You'll be dealing with 16:9 on a 4:3 display for Switch stuff. Lots of PC games can run at 4:3, but lots can't, so it's kinda hit or miss there. And also, if you're planning on playing a ton of Switch and PC games, you're probably going to want to consider getting the higher spec model, because 8 gigabytes of RAM might limit you. You should be fine with 12 gigabytes for most of that stuff though. I honestly did have a great time with PC games on here. The 60 Hz refresh rate is kind of a blessing in disguise, because I didn't feel like I needed to hunt for games and settings that'll run at 120 Hz. 60 Hz is just a much more manageable target. However, I do like to hunt for games that run on 4:3 displays and play those. If you're going to do that, you should set the game resolution to the native resolution of this display, and then in the game options, go through and see what resolution options they give you. Lots of games are locked to 16:9, but lots aren't, so you're just going to need to do some searching.
Search complete. I have found my true purpose.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Mega Bonk.
Heck yeah, that's my purpose too. The fan is pretty typical. You'll hear it when things get cooking, and it's not a great sound. It's a little high-pitched. However, Ayaneo has been slowly but steadily improving their fans. This one isn't as bad as the original Pockets. And also, you'll only need the fan if you're pushing it hard. I tend to keep it on the balance mode and only put the fan on quiet if it really needs it, so I rarely hear the fan anyways. I did 2 battery tests. My high-end test was a PS2 game at the maximum performance profile, upscaled to 3x resolution, with frame throttle disabled so it was going all out, and I calculated 2 hours and 36 minutes like that. That is a worst case scenario. But for the low end, this is one of the reasons I love this chip. It's super efficient at the low end. I was running an NES game, and with 50% screen brightness and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth disabled on the Eco Power profile, I calculated 13 hours and 45 minutes of pure game time. You'd probably get less than that if you were playing more demanding older stuff or had to go up to the balance profile. NES is pretty much the easiest emulation task you can do, but as an extreme low battery situation, well over 13 hours of pure game time is pretty cool.
I can play Nintendo all night long.
Yeah, well, I can't. Unless I drink an energy drink. But Mom won't let me have those. She says they make me too hyper.
What did you do, TechDweeb?
I broke a lamp. So here's the value chat. $320 for the base model, $480 for the full spec
Retro power.
one. For Ayaneo, that's pretty much exactly what I'd expect for this. They don't really do budget doodads. They do fancy little handheld jewelry for people who want to pay for luxury. And it usually feels premium without being overpriced, in my opinion. Yeah, you can grab an Amberlic RG476H, or a Retroid Pocket 6, or an Odin 2 Portal on sale, or whatever shiny new slab fell out of the internet this week instead, and get more or less the same gaming experience. But if you're the type that actually likes Ayaneo's vibe, their design language, the whole boutique feel, you're probably going to be into the Pockets Mini. And while the sale is going on, the fact that you get a Pocket Air Mini with this is kind of a crazy good value. That's only useful if you also wanted a Pocket Air Mini though. So whatever. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. I don't care what you do.
Really? TechDweeb, can I borrow $320?
What? Why?
To buy a Pocket S Mini, of course.
But you are a Pockets Mini. Why do you need another one?
Use your imagination, TechDweeb.
You're gonna... Oh
yeah. I'm so glad I did this. This is great.